great tweeter, too. Follow her on Twitter. And the new column comes out tonight. Again, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, sorry we're running a little late here, but what's going on?
Well, I don't know if you heard Mark Simone, but Biden picked his vice president yesterday.
Yeah, she has all the bad qualities of Hillary and none of the good qualities. She's kind of a depressing, mopey woman. What the hell was he thinking?
Yes, but on the bright side, I predicted Kamala Harris would be the presidential candidate for the Democrats, so I'm almost sort of in the ballpark close.
But what didn't do well with voters? She was the first one to bomb out in the primaries, fizzled out in a couple of weeks.
That is very interesting. I'm not sure that's a great idea. And by the way, that's a good argument. It really helps me prune my Twitter feed. I don't know if you saw that yesterday I went on a mini jihad against these complete moron conservatives who should not be allowed to talk out loud, who think a good idea to attack Kamala is to say she was really tough on criminals. She locked them up. She didn't. She opposed no cash bail. Mark, have any of these complete morons who cannot be smart enough to remember to feed themselves and go to the bathroom notice that the country is in the middle of this massive crime wave? How no cash bail has turned, New York into the delightful paradise it is now. You have every ethnic group, every economic group, except the very, very, very rich Wall Streeters who live in, lily white gated communities and aren't voting for Trump anyway. Every single ethnic group wants more police, wants more criminals locked up. Don't care if you lock up a few innocent ones. Just get them off the street so we can live again. And this is what my party is coming up with. No, he was too tough on crime. So I'm going through my Twitter feed, and I don't want anybody getting mad at me, so I'm just muting anyone who makes such a moronically stupid argument.
Yeah, but that's the good news. The one good thing on her resume she can never mention because Democrats will hate her for it. Yeah,
That's right. That actually is good. And by the way, she wasn't that great on crime. I mean, not getting rid of no cash bail. Okay, that impressed a lot of 14-year-old masturbators on Twitter because they had a crush on Tulsi Gabbard. Not a good idea. Check with any New Yorker right now. Was keeping or getting rid of no cash bail a good idea for the island of Manhattan? You could throw a rock right now and find someone who's smart enough to say, no, that was a huge mistake. There was just an armed robbery. Did you see how the armed I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. It's horrible. New York is being destroyed, the greatest city in the world. I'm sure you've talked about this. Armed robberies are going up on the Upper East Side?
Upper West Side is all junkies and homeless now. The whole city is...
I'm kind of partisan. I always thought that's what the Upper West Side was. Upper East Side was the congressional district that votes most overwhelmingly Republican and donates the most money. I think in some years of any congressional districts in the entire United States donates the most to Republicans. So for those of you living outside of New York who think the whole thing is a hellhole, no, it's awful that there are armed robberies on the Upper East Side.
Well, but there's less and less. But that's because everybody fled the Upper East Side. They all moved out of the city, so there's nobody to rob anymore.
I know. Kind of stupid place now that you mention it for the muggers to be going. Although people have kind of fled the city all over. In any event, let's get back to Kamala.
Yes. Apparently it's Kamala, yes.
Yeah. I think I was pretty close to pronouncing it correctly all these years.
Yeah, no, you were. It's Kamala.
I got it from Lawrence O'Donnell, and he swore it. Actually, I think he was off a little bit. But did you watch the beginning of Lawrence last night, by the way? It was hilarious. It's worth rewatching just because it turns out the secret to Kamala's success was Lawrence O'Donnell.
Really?
That was like first 15 minutes how he told her, you should run for president, and then he told her, do this and do that, and he had her on. And he got her elected AG because he put her on some big special. The whole first 10 minutes was how Kamala's success is entirely attributable to Lawrence O'Donnell.
Well, if you get on Lawrence O'Donnell and reach those 600,000 viewers, that's all you need. That can really...
Okay, this is my real complaint with her. What is it with the Democrats? I mean, I'm not an identity politics person. I think people should I look at them for other qualities, even perhaps some unfair qualities, like my hatred of Wall Streeters. Totally unfair, completely admit it. And I'm sure there are a few nice ones. Some of them are my best friends, but I really still think we should get rid of the carry interest loophole, which is totally unfair. But Democrats, and this is why I thought it was going to be Kamala, all they care about is this whole, race-mongering stuff. We're in the middle of a major race-mongering year, and they still can't pick an American black.
What do you mean? You got to check boxes.
She's half Jamaican,
Caribbean,
half
Indian. Yeah, well,
I don't have anything against that. I'm not an identity politics person, but they are. And they're going around bragging about, the first, African-American female, first African-American. No, she's not African, she's not American, she's Jamaican Indian.
Well, whenever they say the VP, he checked the most boxes, he checked all these different boxes, that's when you're really in trouble. The husband's Jewish, she's Indian, she's Jamaican, she's African-American, she's a woman, whenever they check 15 boxes, that means they had no personality. When Reagan came along, nobody said, boy, he checks a lot of boxes.
You're totally right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes, it reminds me of, it's like the incomprehensible Supreme Court decisions, like Harry Blackmun in Roe v. Wade, when they give you 17 reasons that abortion is a constitutional right, it turns out there aren't any.
Yeah, so whenever the person speaks and you go, I didn't feel anything there. Yeah, but look at all the boxes she's checking. Yeah, but it was dull.
That's a great point. That's a great point. But there are still some African Americans who do care about. They're called either descendants of American slaves or foundational Black Americans, and it's pretty much just me and this Black nationalist on Twitter. But we still care about foundational Black Americans. I'm not saying it has to be a foundational Black American, like my real preferred choice was Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, but I guess you can't have a mayor. So okay, fair point. But her I like. But like I say, they're the big identity politics people, and at least don't go around claiming she's African American.
Well, I can't wait till your new column comes out tonight, right?
Well, yes, it does.
I can't wait to read this, and you'll be tweeting furiously all day long. And if you lost Twitter followers, it seems every conservative suddenly was losing Twitter followers for the last week.
I don't really check anymore, but here's an interesting fact. From when I first started Twitter, at least, 6 months into it, when I had a reasonable range of followers, I got about 1,000 new followers a day. For a year now, Mark Simone, I haven't gotten a new follower.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, but I'm suspicious of that.
Yeah, Don Jr. said the same thing. It's happened to me. The other day I got retweeted twice by the president, not a single follower added. That's a little hard to believe. And
one time I had a tweet that I only happened to notice because it was a funny tweet. I don't remember what it was. Sometime in the last 6 months, say. And within, a few minutes it had gone up to 1,000 retweets, so I knew it was going to be a rocket. Yeah. I checked back an hour later. It went down from like 1,000 plus followers to 60. Not followers, but retweets. More than 1,000 to 60. So yeah, they're totally fiddling with it. Not surprised Twitter is constantly being hacked and giving away our personal information because they're too busy, censoring conservatives. Maybe spend a little more time on the technology.
I'd say we're out of time, but everybody follow Ann Coulter on Twitter And just go to AnnCoulter.com. You can always get through to everything there, AnnCoulter.com. Get her books and get her column, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark Simone. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. And everybody check out the webpage. Some great stuff up there.
We will make America great again.